All right, so today I wanted to talk about manifestation, and in my hands here is proof that manifestation works, but it's not about money. And I wanted to share, I'm going to share what's in here soon, but I wanted to talk about, number one, like what's my definition of manifestation, because I'm sure it gets loosely used all the time. And in my thoughts, manifestation is changing your thoughts, words, and actions to create a different reality. And when I think about, in particular, this note that I received, I think about the changes that I have made over the last, let's call it, most of it is due for stuff that has changed over the last 6 to 7 months, but it's something that I've been working on even a little bit longer, for a little over a year. It came into play primarily over some changes that I made over the past 6 to 8 months. And this is a card that I received from my wife. We just had our 9th wedding anniversary, and we went out to dinner on Saturday, and she surprised me with this card. It's not something that we exchange cards very often, and so when I received it, I was a little bit surprised, and even more surprised after I read it, but in a really good way. And I'll go ahead and I want to share it because I think it's important. It says, "Greg, I wanted you to know how proud and happy I am with how much you have grown over the last year. As a family, we have all been so happy, and I think it all is because you have created a positive and radiant personality and mindset for yourself, and we all feel it. I love to watch you be so kind and patient with the girls, and it reminds me to be a more kind and patient mother. Your draw to God and Jesus is a prayer I never thought in a million years would be answered. I love that prayer has become a cornerstone of this family, and that it is all because of you. I can't wait to see what the next year will bring for us. I knew adjusting to a family of 5 will take some work, but I know together we can do anything. I love you more today than when we said I do 9 years ago. Thank you for being the most amazing husband and father I could ever ask for. Love, Shannon." And I've read it several times, but every time I read it, I just have to sit with it a little bit, because it, and I told Shan when she gave it to me and I first read it, it meant more than anything to me, because thinking back over the past year, there were some times where I was feeling really scared, and part of it was due to conversations that we were having about having a third child, and it was something that was very important for Shan to go down that path, and for me, I was a little bit more hesitant of it and a little bit scared of it, as someone who is going to be 50 later this year, and I've always had so many struggles with my business, and I've always had these fears of failure and fears of not having enough and not being able to support our family. Those fears really elevated when we were having conversations about having a third child. And I've always tried to be pretty even. I didn't let my emotions get too overwhelming or too out of control. I felt like I've always been pretty even keeled on that, but it always felt like there was a disconnect between Shan and I on what I was trying to explain and her reasoning, and there was no there was no logic behind having a third child. It was just, I want a third child, and whatever happens, we'll figure it out. And I was always a little bit more trying to be logical about it. And that caused some friction, and we had some tough conversations prior to me finally surrendering and saying, let's give it to God. And if God feels that we should have a third child, then I'm open to it. And throughout all this, and let's say it's been a combination of many things, but I have had to be much more. I've had to really dive into all of the work that I've been doing with gratitude. I've had to really dive into a constant prayer, and my prayers that I've been doing is what led to me saying, hey, let's all start and praying together as a family. That has led to our 6-year-old and our 3-year-old daughter, or she's going to be 3 this weekend, wanting to say prayers with us. That has been magical. I've been very intentional about trying to leave my fear and all of the financial related issues in my mind. I've been trying to leave them or not allow them to affect me in our home life, which has allowed me to really try to just have fun with Quinn and Shay, and just try to stop focusing on negative things, especially while I'm with them, and just be present with them, have fun, and just really be grateful of our time together and take advantage of that. And I think those are the things, those are the actions and the thoughts and all the things that I've been doing definitely over the past 6-7 months while Shan's been pregnant, and also a little bit before that, even kind of going, when we were having the conversation, it was like, hey, this is what we need to do to be prepared. And I knew that I needed to figure out a way to let some of these fears and limiting beliefs go. And so the result is a manifestation of a card that is so much more meaningful to me than anything else that's going on in my business right now, and a reflection of the happiness that we've actually created within our family, even in spite of some of the financial things that we're going through. And so I know, as everybody knows, that like your relationships, your health, and true wealth is about the love that you have with your family, not financial. And you know, and obviously you want both, but I know that I am wealthy beyond words when it comes to the relationship I have with my wife and my daughters right now, and it's very special, and I'm super grateful for it. And I'm grateful for my conversations with God. I'm grateful for taking the time to read the Bible. A lot of people have a tough time thinking about manifestation and also having faith in God, Jesus, whatever you want to believe. I have kind of taken a little bit of a molding of the two, because I'm learning a little bit of both. I'm taking the time to pray. I'm taking the time to finally read the Bible, which is something I started in the last month, and really try to learn. My wife is Catholic. We've gone to church on a fairly regular basis since we met, but I've never had the desire to become Catholic before, because there's always, I love the community, and so it's not anything against the community. I've never understood what it meant to be like a Catholic and what that actually meant for me, as far as like my new beliefs. That's always been a struggle for me. It's like I am always happy to plug in and be a part of a community that feels like, hey, if you're taking steps to live a more positive life, then that's great. I've always felt that's always been my connection with religion. It's like, hey, if there's people who want to take steps to live better and be more positive and try to live life in a more productive way, like that's always been my belief. I've never really there's always been a certain part of religion that's challenged me a little bit, but I decided that I was going to accept, knowing that having conversations with God is very powerful for me. Learning more about the Bible is helpful for me, and also as someone who really values the teachings of people like Joe Dispenza and Peter Crone, and people who talk about how you can use your energy and you can use your thoughts and you can take your actions and you can transform your life by just starting to do the right things each day. That's important to me too. I believe in both, and so I'd like to take the teachings from both aspects and try to be better, and that's what I've done. I still have, I think, a lot of learning to do, but I like the path that I'm on. Again, I couldn't be happier at home, seeing all of our relationships just grow and become better, and my relationship with my daughter Quinn and my relationship with my daughter Shay. And if you guys get to see this later on in life, hopefully you can remember some of these moments right before we had your baby brother or sister, which is still to be determined, but coming soon. So, and for my third child, thank you for being the catalyst that helped push me to change even more as well. I've definitely become better as a person, being a father, being a husband, and it feels like God wants me to, at going on the age of 50, to have a third child and to really learn what it's like to overcome fears and then have come out on top, and realize that the fears were never even worth taking the time to spend emotion on and spend time on. So I'm grateful, but I wanted to share again, this is a manifestation that I'm very proud of, and that allows me to want to spend more time doing the same things over and over each day. And it's an awesome feeling, and I wanted to share it. And got some more work to do, and I still have my some of my emotions that pop up, my negative emotions that hit me every now and then, but man, I'm doing a lot better than I was before, and I'm excited by the future. So wanted to share that for anybody who's watching. Thank you for taking the time. To my daughters and my wife, thank you guys as well. If you have any similar stories, would love to hear them. Please comment. I will definitely respond back. Love you, and make it a great day.